Oh damn. I was just drinking a big gulp. I didn't think text would pop up that fast. Ooh! You look at all the food freshly placed in the supply carts. What's all this about? You ask Oddleaf. The clansmen are trying to help as much as possible now, she says. Whenever they can, they'll forage for nuts and berries, or fish and hunt. She hands you a piece of fruit. They may not know how to fight, but they can keep us alive by keeping us fed. Okay. Cool. Still got a lot of people. We lost some people during the great wood cutting accident. A desperate looking lot of adults and a varl stand on the shoreline, waving you down. You probably look similar. Going anywhere with either. They look hungry, but can they be trusted? So I can just toss supplies to them, but not stop. I can slow the boats and ask their needs. Let's see if we can pick them up. The basics, the varl says. Food, safety, trade routes are empty. Of the 24 humans, half look like they've seen battle. Come aboard, you'll have food and safety. We lost some people, we can use some more, right? This is not a bad idea. Everyone carefully files onto a couple of the less burdened ships and start eating. Clip, the varl says, which you take as his name and as his appreciation. Nice, more fighters. We've got a shit ton of varl. We've got like 279 varls. I thought they were kinda rare. We've got more varls than humans. Ugh. I mean, not that that's a bad thing. A crowd begins to cheer from one of the longships as a man struggles with his fishing net. As his catch nears the surface, some voice concerns. You're close enough to make out a large shape and what looks like fur or hair in the net. You're close enough to make out a large shape and what looks like fur or hair in the net. What would be in the river that's furry and hairy? Fire an arrow into the mess. Keep watching as the man hauls it out. Release your net. I want to know what it is before I take an action first, but I guess that's the choice here. So let's just keep watching. Bear cup! Shouts the man with the net. Long dead. What's it mean? Superstitions blow across the ship like a gale. Talk of plagues and famine make eyes go wide. You notice Bolverk at the bow of his ship, staring at the cup and brooding more than usual. Ah, we lost morale because we fished up a dead bear cup? We're still good though. Still good. Looks like there's a little settlement coming up. Time on the cramped longships is proving too much for the children. They're climbing ropes, interrupting rowers, and constantly leaning over the sides to touch the water. Some varl and clansmen look annoyed. Move. Okay, I know that the third option is kinda strict, like keep your kids by your side, we're at war until Arbarang. But it's kinda true. I can just remind everyone that it will soon be over, but I don't know. I feel like they won't like that. Say nothing is stupid. Like, I'm a leader, I should take an action here. And move families to specific longships seems like a good idea, but then on the other hand, it also seems like a bad idea, because if that longship gets hit or something happens, that's all, the family's gone. So I'm gonna go with option 3, keep your kids by your side, we're at war. Some mothers give you irritated glances, while a few varls smile in your direction. Regardless, there is no denying the children are safer by their parents' side. Okay, cool. Choices. Man, this whole series, Banner Saga 1 and 2, is gonna give people an impression of me if I'm a good or bad leader. I like to think that I'm a bad leader, but that puts his people first. Smoke from a village catches everyone's attention and the longships begin to slow. I doubt these scraps of wood we're floating on can hold many more, Ivor says. You feel the governor's gaze on you and he slowly shakes his head. Okay, so we want to help out these people, definitely. But what do we answer here? We'll help as many as we can. That seems like pretty much a statement of where this whole caravan is going. They might resupply us for our trouble. That's like the logic answer, like trying to convince people by using logic. You want me to turn my back on them? That's like guilt tripping them. I'm gonna go with the logic one, because you could always use some supplies and some morale. Ivor cocks an eyebrow. And who will resupply them when they realize the trade routes are blocked by dredge? You give him a look and wave the ships to shore. When the ships land, you and a few others rush towards the smoke, but the closer you get, the stranger the situation. There's no sounds of battle or people panicking to put out fires. Keep going, Bolver growls. We'll see what the dead are carrying. The Val's comment defies tradition, but so do many things about him. Strange village. Well, we're in too far now. A barn is the only thing burning. No one is around. Unusual, Oddleif says. Some kind of trick. A barn is the only thing burning. Why do I feel like the villagers have been corralled into the barn and they lit up the barn? Maybe that fire trapped someone else. Let's look for supplies. The village is stripped of anything useful. Those around you are frustrated by the wasted effort. You slowly trudge back to the ships and find Druga pacing. We were ambushed by some bandits while you were away, he says. They took off in a ship with supplies and will be even more crowded now. Makes me think we shouldn't be helping anyone but ourselves from now on. Others voice their agreement. God damn it, someone stole a boat? What assholes? Oh, I can actually zoom this in. I did not notice. I can like full screen it. Interesting. A large clump of hazelnut trees. Looks like a good place for clansmen to stretch their legs and gather supplies. Once on land, the children laugh while kicking around leather-wrapped balls of rags. You notice a Val on the edge of the clearing, silently staring into the woods. Oh, that's not creepy. He's watching a lone dredge grunt stalk a squirrel. Might be 100 of them in these woods. The Val's whisper is still loud enough to scare the squirrel and alert the grunt. It looks at you and the Val before slowly backing up. Kill it before it alerts others. Your arrow wedges in between two plates of stone armor and the dredge cries out in a strange warble. It runs, eluding your second shot before disappearing into the trees. The Val, who made no move to chase the dredge, says, "We better get everyone to stop looking for food and head back to the boats." Everyone watches the shoreline in silence, but no sign of a dredge force is spotted. Some complain about running from a single dredge, but most just stay quiet and vigilant. Got some supplies though. We're still losing morale.
Carved rock on a vacant island. Azalai's Godstone almost looks lonely.
Oh my god, I didn't expect any voice acting to suddenly pop up. She's even more beautiful than the songs. She does look amazing. Oh, it wants me to click on it. I'm just sitting here listening to the music. The clansman and Varel are admiring the Godstone when you notice some are missing. It's Bolverk and his ravens, Aleo says. They looked rather upset by my music and all the singing, he shrugs. If they'd rather hang around that large cart instead of joining us, I won't take it personally. But come closer, let me introduce you to Essalane, the god of streaming waters. She is the curves of every river. The curves of every river. A guide for those of us traveling unfamiliar lands. The skald runs a finger over small etchings in the stone. Inscriptions from all those who were lost, but found a way back home with her help. Listen to more of the tale. Some say her stone shows the struggle of leaving the familiar to see what's over the next hill. Aleo looks at the ropes tied around parts of her and smiles. Before the gods died, her stone supposedly stood tall and moved a few steps each year, so people are always trying to make sure she stays put. Aleo looks at you, grinning. Have you the strength to hold her, or a gift with which to entice her? Pull on one of the stronger ropes. You wrap your hands around one of the larger ropes and begin to pull. Oh. It feels as pointless as expected, and Alessis' Godstone does not budge. Suddenly, you are joined by Hakon and Ivar, who lend their great strength. Others quickly join until the rope snaps and everyone sprawls into a laughing heap. Morale improved! You return to where the clansmen have set up camp and see someone, a woman in torn robes, slip from your tent. She blends in with the other families, and after making sure nothing is amiss in your tent, you let it go. Oh. Who was snooping around? Nice. Achievement unlocked. The number of clansmen and fighters is shown here. If your caravan is assaulted en masse, in a war situation, it is the fighters that protect the clansmen while your heroes fight a tactical battle. Okay, if your caravan is assaulted en masse in a war situation. Okay, so in a big battle, the fighters kind of fight in the background while I do the main fight in the middle of it, I guess. That's cool. It is important to keep enough trained fighters available, but keep in mind that fighters consume more supplies than clansmen and are less effective at foraging. Speak to Sven in the training tent to start training some of your clansmen into battle-ready fighters. Okay. Can I talk to this guy first? The Val look deep in conversation, but Ivar catches your eye and waves you over. So, they've all armed themselves and are running from something, but what? Hakon's becoming a dread scholar, trying to understand the motivations of our enemy. It's just strange that we've never seen that woman fight until recently. Good thing though, we might have lost the Great Wars. You think about what to say. What happened back then? A great deal of killing on both sides. Imagine waking up to dredge attacks every night. Back then the sun actually set. You'd wake up to a sound and see nothing but glowing eyes around you. Ingvar probably told you we never got close to pushing them back to the depths they call home. Actually, Ivar has never said much about the past. Oh? Ivar says nothing, just holds a Hakon stare. Well, he's probably got more stories than you could hear in your short lifetime. Juno says there's a darkness coming? But what Valka says, but what Valka say and mean aren't always the same. They speak in riddles and prophecy. Still, it might explain why the dredge are everywhere, like someone kicked an anthill. Maybe what's ever coming hit them first. Or maybe it's just a new tactic for a new war. If they've learned to crack the ground and call a giant serpent, then we're all dead and just don't know it yet. Has anyone ever talked to Dredge? Both fall look at each other. There are rumors that some have tried and been killed in the process. A lot of nonsense, skull tales about the sound of Dredge voice making your skin fall off. So there's been no communication with the enemy, is that normal? We were too busy killing to worry about a fireside chat. Besides, they only ever make warbling sounds. I'd guess if anyone has talked to them, it'd be the Valka, but good luck getting them to give you a straight answer. I'll leave you two to figure out the big issue. You should know the clansmen have been talking about us killing women and children, Dredge or not. It's not sitting well with everyone, which is probably the way it should be. I say if it's us or them, we make sure we're still standing. Hakon's words weigh on you, but there's nothing more to say. Okay. The number of clansman fighters, yes, we know this. Okay, it really wants me to do this training. Well, come on in, and let's have a look at you, Sven the trainer says. The trainer looks past you at some boys and girls eager to learn. Teaching fighting to the young, Sven muses. They won't go back to hunting and foraging for food, you know. Sure you want to go through with this? We need protection. Sven blows out all his hair through flapping lips. Then let's get it done! How many you want fighting for you? Holy shit. 50? If I get 50, 100? Or 200? Let's say 100, the middle ground. We got enough food and water to last us a day and a half, Sven asks. That's what it'll take for me to break them from running at the first sign of trouble. Make it happen. Consider it done. There we go. So we've got less clansmen now, but more fighters. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go now for today and pick this up tomorrow. But it was fun. Bye.